So, the diagram shows a vertical cliff, or PZ, standing on a horizontal beach, XYZ. The angle of elevation of P from a rock on the beach at X is 44 degrees, as shown in the diagram. Work out the height PZ of the cliff face. So basically what we have here in a nutshell is a very large right angle triangle, as shown in green. This green triangle, when we draw it out, we're now going to put in our angles. We can have 44 degrees here. We know it's 18 over here, and we have to find out what the height is. So guys, what side do I want to know? Compared to the 44 degrees, what side do I want to know? Is it the opposite of the hypotenuse or the adjacent? So I want to know the opposite, which is H. And what side do I know? I know the adjacent side. So I write down my rhyme, and I pick whichever one is it sine, cos or tan I need to use. I have adjacent and I want opposite. Opposite and adjacent. I use tan. Tan 44 degrees equals opposite, which is H divided by 18. Cross multiply up the 18. H equals 18 tan 44. And what is 18 tan 44? Can anybody tell me? So guys who are doing this with me, please be active on the calculator. 18 tan 44 is 17.38. Happy enough with that? So 17 meters and 38 tall. We're expecting an answer like that, weren't we? Because it's just underneath 45 degrees, so they're roughly the same size. Okay? Work out the angle of elevation of P from the point. We need to find out this angle here in red. Okay? So like last time, going to draw out a diagram. Quick triangle will do me. Now you can see that we're predicting an answer bigger than 44 degrees, aren't we? Because he has to look higher up because you're closer to the high object. So we know that it's going to be 7 across and 17.38 in the air. Which two sides do we know are relative to this angle? We'll call it angle X. What sides do we know? Is it opposite, adjacent or hypotenuse? The hypotenuse is this one here, the longest one. What side is 17.38, guys? Oh, it's the opposite. And what about the 7? The adjacent. What function gives you opposite over adjacent? Tan. So tan x equals opposite over adjacent. Tan x therefore equals 17.38 divided by 7. Now, what's the only way you can separate out x and tan? It's the only way you can do that. There's a button in your calculator that does it. It's called tan inverse. That's going to tell you what the angle is. And what we get here is 68.06. Are we happy with that? And it says to the what? Nearest degree. 68 degrees. Moving on. Work out the size of the angle XPY to the nearest degree. XPY. That's interesting. Lads, how do we figure out XPY? This one in here. Can anybody tell me? Anybody know? Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at what we know. This here is 68. What's this one here? 90. What's this one here then? In red? Sorry? 22, because all three of them have to add up to 180. Do you understand? All triangles add up to 180. Now let's look at the other right angle triangle. The big one. Remember the green one from earlier? The big green one. Okay? What is the angle down the bottom left? 44. Angle here, 90. And what about this big angle here, which is everything from here to here? What is it? Add them up and take them away from 180. And what do we get? Now lads, the full angle is 46. This part of it is 22. What does that leave left? 24. It's 24. Everybody happy with that? Okay, moving on. The diagram shows a cross section of a road. Of a roof, with sides 2.5 meters in length. Both sides are inclined at an angle 32 degrees to the horizontal. Find the height mark H and find the width of the roof support. Okay. Now lads, just choose one of the triangles to use, right or left. We'll use the left one, or you can use the right one, it doesn't matter. Okay guys, so what happens here is, we have this triangle here. Now, this here is 32, this here is 7.5. Now what we want to find out is the H. What side is H compared to the 32 degrees? H is the opposite, and what's the 7.5? Hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse gives us what? Sine. Because sine is opposite and hypotenuse. It has both of them in it. So we're going to use sine. Sine 32 equals H over 7.5. Cross multiply up to 7.5, and what do we get? Sorry? 4.69 meters. Well done. Okay. Did you round that up? Alright, we'll just check it out again. 7.5 sine 32. Okay, it's alright. It's 3.974. It's alright. Now that that's done, okay? Find the width of the roof. Now lads, what can you tell me about these two triangles? What can you tell me about the triangle on the left and the triangle on the right? They're the same, aren't they? The pink triangle equals the green triangle. Okay? What does that mean about W? If W is from here all the way over to here, what does that mean? It's basically cut in half, isn't it? So if we find out what this length is here, we find out what half of W is. So let's find out. Now what's our option, lads? We can do two things. We can do Pythagoras' theorem, or we can do an angle. Whatever one we want. Okay, might as well do Pythagoras' theorem, will we? Just easier, I suppose. So, don't call this length W over 2. Just give it a letter like M. Okay? So 7.5 squared equals 3.974 squared plus M squared. Bring that over to the other side. 7.5 squared minus 3.974 squared equals M squared. Put it into the calculator. 7.5 squared minus 3.974 squared. That equals 40.46, let's call it. Square root it. The answer, and we get 6.36 meters. M is 6.36 meters. Is that our answer? Is that our answer, lads? Because we only got He only got half of it. So I need to multiply that answer by 2. So when I multiply this answer by 2, 12.72 meters. So W equals 12.72 meters. Okay.